song for the month of October is 402, From You I Receive. Please rise in body or in spirit. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Society. We're grateful to gather for a time of inspiration, reflection, and connection. Whether you join us today with joy in your heart, weighted with burdens, or searching for meaningful connections, we are glad that you are here. I'm Reverend Diana Smith, and my pronouns are she and her. I am a somewhat tall white woman with short, curly white and brown hair, wearing a black suit and a stole with hands of many colors, standing in UUS's pulpit at the front of our sanctuary. This room and our adjoining Religious Education Commons are filling with people of all ages. And through the window walls of our sanctuary, we connect with the natural world around us, where the recent storms have led to a lovely accumulation of fallen, colorful leaves. And it is such a gift to watch the wind making those leaves that are still on the trees flicker. As we gather, we give thanks for this land and all who've cared for it over the centuries, particularly the Kickapoo, the Iowa, the Sauk, the Meskwaki, and the Oceti-Shakawan nations. As people of many ages, genders, races, sexual orientations, classes, abilities, and health statuses, we know how important it is to come together and work together to create a radically welcoming spiritual community. As Unitarian Universalists, our faith expresses our core value of love through how we agree to be together and to support each other. We're guided by the shared principles, sources, and values of our living religious tradition. This morning, as we welcome new members, we'll celebrate and how we can find and use our gifts to create community, and we'll explore our values of interdependence and transformation. Today's worship service is for all ages. All Ages Sundays are a wonderful time for us to attune ourselves to the many ways that we can learn from each other when members and friends of all ages work together. We hope that everyone feels welcome to make some noise, move your bodies, and participate as fully as you're able. The nursery is available for children 5 and under throughout the service, and you can also keep hanging out in the Religious Education Commons if you want to. If doing something with your hands helps you, we invite you to visit the soul work table outside our sanctuary doors to pick up an exploratory guide or coloring sheet related to today's service or something else to work with. And if you're newer to our congregation, we invite you to learn more about us after the service by talking with a greeter or by filling out a visitor form in our YouTube show notes so that we can connect with you. And now our call to worship today comes from Rosemary Watola Tromer, who writes, "Gratitude, it happens, needs less room to grow than one might think. Is able to find purchase on even the slenderest of ledges, is able to seed itself in even the poorest of soils. Just today, I marveled as a small gratitude took root in the desert of me, like a juniper tree growing out of red rock. If I hadn't felt it, I might not have believed it. But it's true. One small thankfulness can slip into an arid despair, and with it comes a change in the inner landscape, the scent of evergreen.
Our opening hymn for this morning is number 347, Gather the Spirit. Please rise and body your spirit. Gather the Spirit, harvest the power, our separate fires will kindle one flame, witness the mystery of this hour, while this night appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit of heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in store, nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun, winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again.
Beautiful. As Unitarian Universalists, we light a flame within a chalice as a symbol of sanctuary, safety, and hope to unite us in worship and to remind us of our ongoing search for the light of truth. Today, as we light our chalice, we remember how it originally came to be a symbol for Unitarians and Universalists during World War II, as people sought to use their gifts to help others find freedom. Please join me in saying our chalice lighting words as Judy lights our chalice. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the wonder and mystery of this great gift. So let us now kindle the flame of our liberal religious heritage and renew our covenant of mutual love and care. Love is our doctrine, the quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to serve those in need. This we promise, this we covenant with life and one another. We also light a candle for justice and healing as a reminder of our interdependence with Earth and with all members of our global community, especially the most vulnerable. We light this candle so we may not be numbed to injustice and trauma, but rather find strength, courage, and love as we work in solidarity with others for liberation, justice, and healing. Together, we create resilience and hope. Today, as we light this candle, we are simultaneously mindful of the people of Gaza returning home to rubble, and our hopes and prayers for peace. And we also hold in our hearts hope and wonder at what we were able to create together all over this country as we mobilized yesterday, the No King's Day of mobilization. As I light this candle, let's hold a time of silence to remember that together we create resilience and hope, and to listen to our hearts and bodies, and perhaps to lift up prayers.
I'd like to invite all my friends, both young and young at heart, forward, where I'll read a story. Any of our friends want to come in? It's a good one. Okay. I'm Madison Colquette. I'm your ministerial intern. I am a blonde white woman wearing a green dress. And today I have the absolute pleasure of reading Bud Finds Her Gift. The slides, the illustrations by Naoko Stoop will be on the slides. And this is by Robin Wall Kimmerer. There once was a little child called Bud who was very good at noticing. She noticed the shapes of clouds, the smell of cookies baking, and even where Daddy had left his keys. And she noticed that everyone always had something important to do. Everyone but her. So she went to talk to her grandmother, Nokmis. Everyone is doing big, important things, Bud told her grandmother. I want to do something big and important too. Nokmis nodded. Come with me tomorrow morning, and we will do something very important indeed. Bud's heart soared. Soon, she would do a big thing. But what could it be? At sunrise, Bud and Nokmis walked uphill to stand beside a tall tree. Raising her arms in the new light, Nokmis said, "Good morning, morning. Thank you for the gift of this day. Thank you, birds and trees and dew and flowers. Thank you for all of the gifts that we are given." Bud watched and waited, and then she asked, Will we do the important things soon? Nokomis laughed. This is the important thing. Taking time for noticing and saying thank you for the gifts of the earth. Gifts, said Bud. I don't see any bags or boxes. These gifts don't come in bags or boxes. They come from the earth. Look here. And Nokomis showed Bud a strawberry. It was the sweetest thing Bud had ever tasted. Is this one of the gifts, Nokomis? You are very good at noticing, my little Bud, Nokomis replied. Now, notice more. Notice with your eyes and your ears and your fingers and listen with your heart. Try it tomorrow and see what happens. So the next morning, Bud stood by that same tall tree, noticing as hard as she could. Noticing with her eyes, she saw the colors of the sky. Noticing with her toes, she felt the dewy grass. Noticing with her ears, she heard a beautiful bird song. And listening with her heart, she heard the birds sing. Everyone, from the day of their birth, was given a gift to share with the earth. I was given the gift of this song, the birds sang. So I share it with you all morning long. The music drifting from the treetop did feel like a gift. Thank you, Robin, Bud said. Bud watched Robin pick up at a bit of moss and carry it to a branch. Noticing with her eyes, she saw the moss growing shiny and green. Noticing with her fingers, she found it was soft like cloth. Listening with her heart, she heard the moss chant. Everyone, from the day of their birth, was given a gift to share with the earth. Being soft and green is what I do best, so I share with the birds to make a warm nest. You give gifts to birds, Bud said, and we all get to hear their songs. Thank you, moss. Bud kept noticing. She noticed the soil holding the seeds and seeds growing up to make leaves. She noticed caterpillars eating the leaves, butterflies pollinating flowers, flowers becoming berries, and mushrooms turning everything back to soil. Everyone played a part, giving gifts to one another all the time, each gift leading to the next. The more Bud noticed, the more thankful she became. Saying thank you for all of these gifts was very important indeed. But was it enough? It was time to talk to Nokomis again. Did you find gifts? Nokomis asked. I saw birds and moss and butterflies, Bud said. They each have a gift to share. Even bird poop planted seeds. I want to be part of it too and give a gift as well. But I can't make nests or leaves or berries. Nokomis, what is my gift? Nokomis hugged her. Don't think of the things you can't do. Notice instead what you can do. Those are your gifts, my dear. We will leave Bud to her noticing for now to hear from Andrea Smith, who is sharing her story with us.
Good
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrea. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm a Black woman in my late 20s wearing a jean jumpsuit that my sister gave me with a colorful top on top of it. Thank you all for allowing me to share how I came to the UUs. I was supposed to do this last week, but I was stuck at the airport coming from a conference. So now I have that opportunity to share with you all. So my husband Ryan and I moved to Iowa in 2021 from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I honestly didn't find a church right away because I was scared. As a Black queer woman, I was afraid of running into Christian white nationalists, and even though they make up a minority of religious folks, they are the loudest. Growing up, I went to a predominantly Black Baptist church, so my mom suggested that I find a Black church. But even within Black churches, I've ran into a lot of homophobia and sexism in the past. I just didn't want to deal with shopping for the perfect congregation. But after a while, I started to feel that pull, a yearning for a place where I could explore my spirituality. Folks my age, especially in the field like mine, which I'm in sociology, they have a pretty negative thoughts on religion and spirituality, so I didn't feel comfortable talking about these topics with them, but I desperately wanted to explore these thoughts and theology largely. Especially after the election in November, I really wanted to be around people who were really trying to make sense of the world, and still believed in something good, and was working to bring that good to the world. I knew the big role that churches, especially Black churches, played during the civil rights era in the South, and I wanted that. I expressed these feelings to Ryan, and he found a church on Reddit called the Unitarian Universalist Church of Coralville. And on a random Sunday, we went, and our ministerial intern at the time, Bridget Laughlin, was giving a talk entitled Fearfully and Wonderfully Made. And it brought me to tears, and that's when I knew that I was in the right place and exactly where I needed to be. Since then, I feel like I've grown so much spiritually. I've learned to actually live out the things that I believe, practice them, and not just think about them. And I've met people here who are doing that too, and that's just been such a gift for me. When I came to the UUS, I found a place where I could show up as my whole self. I didn't have to hide or shrink parts of myself or leave parts of myself at the door. This community really feels like a home to me, and it's a place where I can question things, reflect, and grow alongside people who care deeply about justice, compassion, and joy. And that's what makes UUS special. It's a community of people who try, people who try to live by their values, who try to make space for others, and who try to make the world a little bit better. And that's why I've been trying to give back and help the U.S. myself, so that way it could be the same beacon and sanctuary for others, just as it's been for me. Whether that means helping to organize service, welcoming folks, or just showing up. I want people who walk through these doors to know that they belong to. The U.S. has given me hope, and my hope now is that we keep shining that light so that when someone else is searching, that they could find their way, just like I did. Thank you all.
Thank you, Andrea. New people being welcomed into the covenant of membership is a special time in the life of a congregation. Today, Paula Miller, who is a membership associate, and Sarah Ross, the president of our board of trustees, will be joining me in our new member covenanting ceremony. Victoria Hewitt is not able to be here today because she is away out sick. Paul and Sarah, please come on up here. So as you all know, Unitarian Universalism is a non-creedal faith. No one needs to assent to a statement of belief in order to find membership with us. Instead, it's our covenants that bind us. As a covenantal religious community, we are defined by a shared set of values and ways of being that we choose to affirm and promote, which includes supporting one another along our diverse spiritual journeys. Being defined by covenant means that Unitarian Universalist congregations are defined by love and the ways that we're always seeking to live love and justice more fully into this world. That's because covenants are values-based vows that are a way of saying what we want to amplify in the world and how we want to be in relationship with one another. They're a way of saying to whom and for what we want to be accountable, and often some of the fundamental principles for our actions. They also tell us about what we aspire to be together. They invite us to be compassionate, curious, humble, trusting, and trustworthy. Our covenants and what we covenant for fundamentally define us as Unitarian Universalists. They give us a space to engage in our spiritual work that defines this as a faith community, as a congregation. And so, this is a momentous occasion because it gives each of us the opportunity to renew our own commitments to living the covenant to the fullest and best that we can. Paula, would you come up here?
Hello, I'm Paula Miller, and I'm grateful to be here today. Hopefully you're feeling much better, Victoria. Each of the people we are celebrating this morning have taken the time and care to learn about Unitarian Universalism and this congregation. They have attended sessions to learn about the history and values of Unitarian Universalism. They have learned some about our UUS history in the Iowa City area and about the variety of groups and opportunities we offer. And they have attended a Pathways to Membership orientation, selected activities that were meaningful to each of them to learn about and engage with the UUS, and heard the importance of supporting our congregation with their time, energy, and financial resources. Each person has affirmed our values and our principles and said yes to the call of our mission to serve one another and the world. Each understands that our faith is a lifetime's search for truth and meaning, and that joining this congregation affirms a willingness to continue to grow as people, both emotionally and spiritually. When each of them signs the membership book, they are committing to the principles of Unitarian Universalism and to the values, mission, and vision of this congregation. I'll now call our new members' names, and I'll invite them to come forward, signing the membership book as they hear their name. Kathy McGowan. John Jadreev. Robin Easley. Benjamin Easley. Ibrahim Mamadou. Edie Pierce Thomas. Volker Thomas. Mimi Sherburne. Emery Styron. And Virginia Styron.
May this be your religious and spiritual home, and may you be woven into the intricate fabric that is this community's life together. Here, you'll be cared for and will be asked to care for others. We welcome your presence among us and ask that you join us in the life and mission of this congregation. In the presence of those gathered with us, in person and online, I'll now ask you to state your intentions. Will you travel together with us in a covenant of mutual love and care? Help us be a welcoming and inclusive community and share in the joys and responsibilities of membership. Please say, we will. And will each one of you join us joyfully and as fully as you're able in our shared ministry of serving others as we seek to be a welcoming and spiritually diverse home, a place where we act on our values to honor the earth, advocate for racial and social justice, foster deep connections, and embrace the ongoing quest for meaning. Please say, we will.
We will. Now, we want everyone to be able to welcome these new members. I invite the members of the congregation to say, we will, when I indicate. I failed to introduce myself. My name is Sarah Ross, and I'm acting as the president of the Board of Trustees this year. So now, will you, ongoing members, joyfully welcome these persons into our congregation, invite them into our shared ministries, be open to their unique gifts and wisdom, and covenant to travel with them and each other in friendship, respect, and love? Members of the congregation, please say, we will. We will. Do you renew your promise to travel together with one another in a covenant of mutual care and love, to help us be a welcoming and inclusive community, and to participate in our shared service to one another and the world as fully as you are able? If so, please say, we do. We do.
John, Kathy, Rob, Benjamin, Ibrahim, Mimi, Emery, Virginia, Volker, Edie. Did I already say you all? Okay. I think I got everybody, right? Yes, okay. Your names got a little mixed up on my little thing here. Joining the Unitarian Universalist Society is a powerful and transforming event in your life. Membership comes with both gifts and responsibilities. Within this community of seekers, You will be challenged to grow in spirit and to live out our UU principles in your lives within this congregation and beyond it. Ours is a shared ministry. You'll be called to offer the fullness of who you are as individual persons in service of our mutual promises of love and care. Our deep hope is that you will open your hearts to accept the gifts of our spiritual community and know that you do not journey alone. As we end this ceremony, as a symbol of light you bring to this community, we invite each of you, one at a time, to light a candle. We're going to help you with that. And after that, in honor of signing the membership book, you'll receive a rose of friendship. Like life and like the rose, the journey of spiritual community may be thorny at times, and our hope is that your journey among us will unfold as sweetly as the petals of the rose. We're glad that you have chosen to make your spiritual home with us. Welcome. Please light your candle and receive your gifts. Sarah, will you come down here? And actually, Sarah and Paula, will you come and help? Okay. All right. So if you all can kind of move through here. Actually, Volker and Edie, maybe we'll start with you. You can grab a candle and come over here and light it from the chalice. So you'll grab a candle. Can you come take a candle and come light it from the chalice? All right. And actually, Paula or Sarah, can you help with, with Rose? There we go. Yeah. Okay. And we'll just do a little circle thing here. So yeah. Okay, actually, Sarah, yes. So yeah, come on over here. Welcome. Welcome. So Paula has the roses and your bag. Okay. Well, and Sarah maybe will have a bag for full. Okay, Ibrahim, come on up here. Welcome. Yes, yes. We'll get ourselves started. Wonderful. And now I invite you into a time of meditation, contemplation, and prayer. We come to this community with many different needs and hopes, with wonderings, sometimes with hearts filled with sorrow, sometimes with great joys, all of which we need to share. We come and we create community, seeking to live love and justice in our lives, in each other's lives, and in the world ever more fully. As we do so, we seek to keep opening our hearts, to find courage, to find strength, to find love, to keep deepening. And so I share with you the words of Patrick Otuma, his prayer for courage. Courage comes from the heart, and we are always welcomed by God, by earth, the spirit of life, the Croy of all beings. We bear witness to our faith, knowing that we are called to live lives of courage, love, and reconciliation in the ordinary and the extraordinary moments of each day. We bear witness, too, to our failures and our complicity in the fractures of our world. May we be courageous today. May we learn today. May we love today. Amen. Blessed, blessed be. Hillary, will you come up? Hillary, yeah, come on. Actually,
Our congregation is made up of many people and of many communities. We gather in many ways to learn, sing, laugh, share meals, try new things, and help repair our world. Together we create a community that nurtures us as we seek to live love more fully and fiercely into this world. This morning, Hillary Higgins is here to share about how connecting with UUS as a membership associate has impacted her. Thank you, Hillary.
Thank you. As you know, my name is Hillary Higgins, and I am a membership associate committee member. I also belong to many other things, but I think the impactment for me is that membership has its privileges. We've all heard that on a TV commercial, I know, but it's very true. And not only do we work for days like today, where we are able to welcome 10 new beautiful people to be among us and to be members, we also have special friends and people who are considering being UU people. We greet people, we honor people for who we are and who they are. And I believe at the heart of everything is the word belonging. There's actually an Othering and Belonging Institute at the University of Berkeley, and they say belonging can be seen as an ever-expanding circle, one that keeps growing to recognize the dignity and humanity of all people. It is a powerful vision for creating the world where every person is seen, valued, and empowered. A world where each individual's humanity is recognized and celebrated, and the planet itself is included. If there was a time to double down on building this world, it is now. We all belong. Kinship, fellowship, and inclusion are at the heart of what we do. And these are the gifts that I have received from being on committees here at church, being on the membership committee, and what we are all working towards, a sense of belonging. To that end, not only do we work to gather new members, we work to support the members that we already have. The membership committee is putting into motion some ideas to enforce this idea of being able to belong. And I'd like to announce at this time that one of the things that we are doing is, in conjunction with membership, Sarah Ross and I are going to host a gathering on Christmas Day for anybody who wants to be here, who has perhaps a loneliness or nowhere else to go, or simply wants to be with their UUS peeps. So there will be more information coming forward with that, and there are more ideas on board. So it's a work in progress, just like all of us and all things. Belonging being the key. Thank you.
Thanks, Hillary. Now, as y'all know, we are in the middle of our stewardship campaign. Our theme this year is A Home for Hope, and we are exploring how UUS is a home for so many of us in many different ways. Chris Taylor is coming on up here with our house that is showing our progress and is going to tell us about what's going on with the campaign, and then we'll share a little news about next week and our celebration Sunday. Chris, come on over.
I swear that thing gets more unwieldy and complicated every time I move it. That's on me. I am Chris Taylor. My pronouns are he and him. I am a tallish man in my 40s with light skin, long hair, and a beard. Right now I'm wearing jeans and a plaid shirt, as is my habit. And I am excited to present the stewardship update this morning. We set an ambitious goal this year. We launched the campaign 2 weeks ago. With 1 week left in our formal campaign, things are looking, things are looking pretty solid. We've received over $275,000. Actually, I was informed this morning that 3 additional pledges have come in since midnight, which brings us $5,000 closer to our goal. So that number's already out of date. That represents a 13.5% increase over the same pledging population from last year, which is very encouraging. Almost 60% of you who have pledged so far have committed to increasing your support. Last year, that number was 38%. Yeah, that's absolutely clap-worthy. We would like to get as many pledges in as possible before the end of the campaign. That helps with budgeting and bookkeeping, and it means we don't have to chase you down in November. If you haven't made a pledge this year, stewardship team members will be in Fellowship Hall after the service to assist you. You can recognize us by these fashionable second badges that we wear. In keeping with today's theme, though, I would like to briefly mention the reddish-pink bricks in our little house here. Each one of those represents a brand new pledge to UUS from an individual or family who's never pledged to us before. And as we've heard all month, each of us has different reasons for finding hope at UUS. This place is a home for our justice efforts and our community activities, for learning and growth, a home where we celebrate diversity and are united by our hope for a better future. And for these reasons and more, the folks represented by the pink pledges here have found hope and a home here at UUS. For this, we should all give thanks. Welcome to all the new members. It's by their commitment and by the shared support of everyone who's pledged so far that UUS will continue to offer hope to those who need it, and we all need it. In that spirit, too, the stewardship team and I would like to invite all of you to Celebration Sunday next week, October 26th, right here, same time, same channel. Following next week's service will mark the conclusion of the 2026 Pledge Campaign with cake, coffee, conversation, and a fantastic lineup of entertainments to delight and amaze you. We'll have poetry, music, juggling, less good juggling, fire eating, puppets, yeah? It's our chance to recognize and to celebrate all of you, all of us, everyone in this room and online who have decided to share in the responsibility of making UUS a home for hope in 2026. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you next week.
And along those lines, Chris has already headed off, but I wanted to tell y'all, because part of being a home for hope is also about being a home for joy and celebration and fun together. We have decided, urged on by a youngster who was willing to be helpful in this, that once we reach our goal of $425,000, this hair, which has never been dyed, is going to be dyed. Edie has agreed to, not little Edie, not Edie who just became a member. Little Edie has agreed to loan us her temporary, very colorful hair dye so that youngsters and some of you who want to dye my hair many, many different colors will get to do that. This is $425,000, y'all. We also have decided that once we reach the $400,000 goal, if we reach it tomorrow by Celebration Sunday next week, during Celebration Sunday, y'all know I'm a tattoo person, we will get to add as many temporary tattoos to me as we have received pledges. So you can do it. Let's see how colorful we can make me. $400,000, we can get there. Thank you so much. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, stewardship team. Sorry, I'm making Christine's life very difficult. Thank you, Christine. Now, how we give and what we do with our lives is a reflection of our values. In response to the abundance that we are blessed with every week, this congregation donates generously to organizations in the community whose work aligns with our values and principles. Our community partner this month is the Free Lunch Program, where volunteer teams prepare and serve nutritious meals from noon to 1 p.m., Monday through Saturday, all year long. Since 1985, UUS has provided the free lunch meal on the second Friday of every month. In the sanctuary, all cash collected goes directly to our community partner agency and the Community Common Fund. If you're writing a check, please use your memo line to designate the purpose as our community partner, your pledge, or a gift to our operating expenses. You can follow the instructions on the screen to give online or via text. Your offerings are a sign of your commitment to this congregation, which is completely supported by the generosity of all who join with us. As we give and receive the offering, may we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts.
Thank you. Let's take a big breath. Big breath. Oh, just what a full and joyous service this has been, and I'm noticing that. And like Bud, our friend Bud, I also think that I am good at noticing. And yesterday I was walking around my neighborhood, and I was feeling really sad about something, and I was thinking and going over this situation in my mind over and over, and I was like really stuck in it. I did thankfully notice a huge crow fly past me. And the crow landed in this big, beautiful tree with all of its orange and yellow and red leaves. And this big, beautiful tree was right in front of me on my walking path. And there were 4 of these huge crows in this beautiful tree, inviting me to notice and inviting me to be present. And they sat there in this tree, and I stood beneath them, and we just existed like this together for a few moments. When we left Bud, she was asking, "What is my gift, and how can I share it?" And Bud is noticing the natural world all around her, the shared relationships between all beings, and she wants to know how she can participate. Bud is learning the heart of reciprocity, a gift for a gift. Reciprocity is the practice of exchanging things with others for mutual benefit. We sang about this earlier. From you I receive, and to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. In her most recent book, The Serviceberry, Indigenous scientist and teacher Robin Wall Kimmerer writes, if our first response is gratitude, do you remember, like Nokomis taught Bud, thank you for the birds and the trees and the dew and the flowers. If our first response is gratitude, then our second is reciprocity, a gift for a gift. When I say gift, I don't only mean a physical item or something one has to purchase. A gift can mean these things, and it can also mean sharing a talent or a skill with someone. It can mean a work of art, picking up groceries for a neighbor, or sharing a meal with a new friend. Like Bud, every one of us has been given the gift of paying attention, of noticing. Kimmerer writes that paying attention is an ongoing act of reciprocity or cooperation, the gift that keeps on giving, in which attention generates wonder, which generates more attention and more joy. Paying attention to the more than human world doesn't lead only to amazement, it leads also to the acknowledgement of pain. Open and attentive, we see and feel equally the beauty and the wounds. Paying attention to suffering sharpens our ability to respond. So yesterday, when the crows invited me to pay attention, the grief that I was feeling didn't go away. Rather, I was able to be present to both my grief and the beauty of these birds in this beautiful tree. My encounter with my crow teachers encouraged me to reach out to a friend who is also experiencing a painful situation, and we shared in our grief together, a gift for a gift. In the Serviceberry, Kimmerer writes about the sweet delicious berry planted by her farmer neighbors who have invited her to partake of their tree's bounty. She describes her fingers being sticky with berry juice as she gathers berries from her neighbor's trees. She writes, "I'm reminded that my life is contingent or dependent upon the lives of others without whom I simply would not exist. I have no claim to these berries," she writes, "and yet here they are in my bucket, a gift." To name the world as gift, Kimmerer writes, is to feel one's membership in the interdependent web of reciprocity or mutual cooperation. It makes you happy and it makes you accountable. All flourishing is mutual, she reminds us. So what might the service berry teach us here? If our first response to the receipt of gifts is gratitude, much like buds, then our second is reciprocity, to give a gift in return. Kimmerer asks, what could I give these plants, these service berries, in return for their generosity of fruit? She says, I could return the gift with a direct response, like weeding or bringing water or offering a song of thanks. I could take indirect action, like donating to my local land trust so that more habitat for the gift givers will be saved. I could speak at a public hearing on land use. I could make art that invites others into a web of reciprocity. I could vote on the side of healthy land and advocate for farmland preservation. Acknowledging the gifts we've received creates gratitude and, in turn, a sense of abundance. Recognizing enoughness is a radical act in an economy that is always urging us to consume more, to do more, and to be more, lest we rest in our enoughness. That's not the end of Bud's story. We didn't read the entire book. There is more to Bud's story and to ours. Bud asks Nokomis, what is my gift? Nokomis encourages Bud not to think on the things she can't do, but what she can do, and those are her gifts. During Stewardship Month, and a month in which we are exploring generosity and gratitude, practices that go hand in hand, I have 3 questions for us. What am I grateful for? What are my gifts? And how am I sharing them? I am grateful to those beautiful crows who just for a moment invited me to pause and to be present in both my grief and my wonder, who invited me to receive their blessings and share it with someone else. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. May it be so.
May what has been shared today help us more fully affirm our interconnection and live into love and justice. After the service, we'll gather in the fellowship hall for cake in celebration of our new members. If you're a newcomer, we hope that you'll grab a snack and then sit at a table so folks can join you for some conversation. After today's service, you can also join us in the fellowship hall for sustainability bingo and writing postcards to our congressional representatives and senators as a follow-up to yesterday's No King's Day of Mobilization. And you can join me at 11:30 or a little after that for a deep dive with the minister, or come back to the sanctuary at 11:30 to join choir practice. All are welcome at all of these.
Our closing hymn for this morning is number 318, We Would Be One. Please rise in body or in spirit.
Please be seated, and please join me in the words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. All these we carry in our hearts and in our minds until we are together again.
What are we grateful for? What are our gifts? And how are we sharing them? May we continue to explore and notice our interdependence as the service berry teaches us. May it be so. Amen. I want to invite Andy Douglas forward to sing our homecoming song, In This Home.